Reporting live on Teen Coverage is Marissa Costa
and Vanessa Borzak on the
Battle of the Bulge.
The battle occurred from December 16, 1944 to January 25, 1945 in the densely forested Ardennes mountain region on the Western Front.
Germany's goal was to split the British and American Allied line in half, capturing Antwerp and then proceeding to encircle and destroy 4 Allied armies, forcing the Western Allies to negotiate a peace treaty in the Axis powers' favor.
The Battle of the Bulge was important to World War II because it was Hitler's last defense movement of the war. Hitler knew that if he didn't take a chance, the war would be lost. This map shows the Germans' plan for the Ardennes counter-offensive movement of December 1944.
The yellow arrow on the map shows the advance of the Bulge as the German offensive progressed, creating the nose-like salient that occurred during the 16th and 25th of December 1944. This is why it is called the Battle of the Bulge. The American experience. This was the biggest and bloodiest battle for the Americans because they were not prepared for this counteroffensive.
They were overconfident, the weather was bad, and they were low on manpower.
The Allies suffered more than 77,000 casualties during the battle. The freezing temperatures and dense fog caused thousands of bodies to freeze to the ground. The Americans did their parts to slow the Nazi advance, whether by delaying armored commanders with difficult defenses of vital crossroads,
moving or burning important gasoline stocks to keep them from the German tanks,
or coming up with questions on mysterious America to stump possible Nazi spies. This photo shows an American soldier preparing a missile that says, "Merry Christmas, Adolf."
Dwight Eisenhower was the most famous 5-star U.S. Army general of World War II.
General Anthony Clement was the commander of the 101st Airborne Division troops defending Bastogne, Belgium. He is famous for a single-word reply of "nuts" in response to a German surrender demand.
General Omar Nelson Bradley was the senior United States Army field commander of all United States ground forces invading Germany from the west. General Bradley was the last of only 9 people to hold a 5-star rank in the United States Armed Forces.
General Courtney Hicks was an American military officer in which he commanded the 1st United States Army in Northwest Europe.
General George Smith Patton was a general in the United States Army, best known for his command of the 7th United States Army. He led the relief of besieged U.S. troops at the Bastogne during the Battle of the Bulge, and advanced his army into Nazi Germany by the end of the war.
Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery was the field commander for the failed airborne attempt to bridge the Rhine at Arnhem and the Allied Rhine crossing. On May 4, 1945, he took the German surrender at Lemberg Heath in northern Germany. After the war, he became Commander-in-Chief of the British Army of the Rhine in Germany, and then Chief of the Imperial General Staff.
The German perspective. General Walter Model was a German general and later field marshal during World War II. He is noted for his defensive battles and for his close association with Hitler and Nazism.
Karl was a German field marshal, recalled as commander-in-chief in the West in September, holding this post until his final dismissal by Hitler in March 1945. Rundstedt was aware of the various plots to depose Hitler, but refused to support them. After the war, he was charged with war crimes, but did not face trial due to his age and poor health.
General Hassel was a German soldier and a liberal politician of the 20th century. During World War II, he was a distinguished general.
General Joseph Dietrich was a German SS general. He was one of Nazi Germany's most decorated soldiers.
Adolf Robert was a German general of the 7th Army on Western Front during the German Ardennes offensive. He was captured by the Americans on May 6, 1945, while at duty in the 19th Army as a commanding general, and was released from U.S. captivity in 1948. Adolf Hitler and members of his general staff reviewed plans for an airstrike in support of the Ardennes offensive.
On December 16, 1944, the Germans began the assault at 5:30 a.m. with a massive 90-minute artillery bombardment.
Vehicles had to be run every half hour to keep their oil from freezing, and weapons could not always be counted on, as they would freeze as well.
We have seen a year marked on the whole by substantial progress toward victory, even though the year ended with a setback for our arms, when the Germans launched a ferocious counterattack into Luxembourg and Belgium with the obvious objectives of cutting our line in the center. Our men have fought with indescribable and unforgettable gallantry under most difficult conditions. The high tide of this German attack was reached 2 days after Christmas. Since then, we have reassumed the offensive. We have rescued the isolated garrison at Bastogne and forced a German withdrawal along most of the line of the salient. The speed with which we have recovered from this savage attack was possible primarily because we have one supreme commander in complete control of all the Allied armies in France. General Eisenhower has faced this period of trial with admirable calm and resolution and is steadily increasing success. He has my complete confidence.